Why do I spend so much time talking to you about feelings you need to deal with, about emotions you need to deal with, and stress that you need to deal with? And what does that have to do with losing weight? Well, having lost 200 pounds, I realized that the key was actually to deal with those emotions in a healthy way, because what I did was feel sad and eat, feel stressed and eat, feel bitter about something and eat. Every emotion I had, good or bad, intense, anything that brought me out of that kind of numb zone, drove me to eat more and more food. And I had a lot of stress in my life. I have a lot of things in the past that I needed to deal with. So I want to talk to you today about why it's so critical in your own journey. If you're a compulsive overeater, if you've been this way for a long time, if you go to food to feel better, even though you don't know why you're going to the food, let's talk about that and hope to give you some understanding and how it can help you to deal with those things in a positive way. Food became my only go-to. But what happened is, it wasn't as if I said, oh, I'm feeling really sad, let's eat. It was just, I need to eat. So if you get that pull, I need to eat, when you're not hungry, and you wander into the kitchen when you're not hungry, and you find yourself eating a huge bowl of popcorn when you're not hungry, or seconds and thirds when you know you're not hungry for that, why are you doing it? So what's really going on? And this is where the magic happens. When you realize that you're turning to food and you don't know why, and you don't know what it is that's driving you there, but you're doing it anyhow because you just want to feel better. You just want a little bit of comfort, or maybe you are feeling emotional and food is going to make you feel better. Stop believing the lies. Food does not make you feel better. When is the last time you had some food and it said, hey, sweetheart, you know what? You're going to be okay. You can get through this. When is the last time you had food and it said to you, oh, you know what? Here's a good way to deal with your emotions. Here's a good way to get through the day. I'm going to help you. Ever? No. Food does not talk to us. Food does not comfort us. Food does not give us any pleasure whatsoever, except maybe a quick taste for a few seconds. Food is not your friend. It is nutritious. We do need it, and it's a friend to our body. But I'm talking about when you're eating for comfort, it is not a therapist. It is not a friend. It is not going to comfort you. It's a lie. Stop lying to yourself. I woke up one day and I had to say, Easter, stop believing the bullshit. This food is only hurting you. Your cycle of eating to feel better is making you feel worse, because I'd eat to feel better and then I'd feel guilty about eating, and I'd have remorse for eating an extra 3,000 calories, and I would eat more to feel better. How is that your friend? How was that helping me? How did it bless me in any way? It didn't. And it's not blessing you, and it's not helping you. So what do you do with those emotions? First of all, if you have a craving for food, I trained myself to use that as an alarm bell. The second I started to feel, oh, I just would like to eat something right now, but I wasn't hungry, I trained myself to say, hey, what's going on? It became a ding, 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 ding. Let it be your alarm bell that you need to deal with something that's going on the inside. Those inside things are emotional weight. They're stress weight. They are comfort weight. They are trauma weight. That weight is making you eat more. So you need to deal with the emotional, spiritual stress weight before you can really get out of the nasty cycle of emotional eating. And it is a nasty cycle, but there's a way out, and it's healthy, and it's not a difficult process. It takes self-discipline to train yourself. It takes time and it takes practice, but you can do it. I did it, and I'm so relieved. And 200 pounds less, I am so freaking happy. And it's not just that I'm 200 pounds less. It's that I don't carry around the things I was angry about. I don't carry around those hurts that hurt me so much. I don't carry around my failures that hurt me so much. The regret and remorse I had for feeling like I failed in different areas of my life was huge. I don't have that anymore. I don't. And that's because I learned to deal with it. And if it crops up again, which once in a while things crop up because life happens and situations happen. And I've had difficult situations this year, very difficult situations, but I didn't turn to the food. I turned to healthy ways of dealing with it. So what does that look like? What does it look like to go from, oh, I just need a quick bowl of ice cream? That was my go-to. Or, oh, I'm just going to order some food. Or a bowl of popcorn would make me feel a lot better. No, it doesn't. But that's how I felt. What do I do now? Now I feel like, oh, I should just go see what there is in the kitchen. Ding, 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 ding. Time to look at what's going on. I stop. I pause. I think. I pray. Now, some of you may not believe in praying, but you can pause and you can think deeply. You can meditate about this and see what is really going on. And maybe you don't identify your feelings right away, but you're going to identify that you're eating because something else is going on. If you're not hungry, if it's not mealtime, there's a reason you're going to the food. You need to get to the bottom of that. So here are the strategies that I have learned to employ. Number one, stopping, praying for a minute, trying to get to the bottom of it. If that doesn't help, I then journal. Journaling helps me just dump out whatever's on my mind. And 9 times out of 10, it comes out in prayer and journaling. I will get to the bottom of it. When I do hear like, oh, you're feeling really resentful towards so-and-so from the past, I learned that I need to deal with that. So I journal about it. I write about it. I call somebody and talk to them about it. And I practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge because when you don't have forgiveness towards people, if you're carrying around bitterness, if you're carrying around unforgiveness, that weight within you is pulling you down and pulling you back to the food. Every time you feel that resentment towards that person, guaranteed you're going to be feeling like, oh, just a little bit of something, just a little, I'll have a few cookies, that's all. And you eat the whole darn bag. I know, I've been there, I've done it. So learn to recognize that there's probably something going on when you're drawn to the food. Next, you do your journaling, you do your calls to family and friends and people in a support group if you need to. And maybe you need to see a therapist. If it's something huge and you need help, get it. It will help you deal with the things that are driving you to the food, because that's what's making you unhappy. It's not the food making you unhappy. The food is making you more unhappy because you want to punish yourself from the regret and the remorse that you have from eating when other people don't need to do that. Why do you do it? You don't have to be ashamed of that. It's just your way of dealing with things because you don't have a better way. But there is a better way, and you can find it too. So once I've done my calls, I've done my prayers, I've done my journaling, what's next? I find a healthy release for my negative energy that I've got, and that often is walking or dancing for me, or it could be mindfulness, like doing a crossword puzzle. It could be doing a craft. It could be coloring, doodling, knitting, crocheting, pottery, jigsaw puzzles, whittling, other puzzles. It doesn't matter what it is. Just get yourself doing something. We're used to always having our hand come to our mouth, so keep your hands busy. When you sit down, have a strategy in place. What are you going to be doing in front of you? What can you have on your lap? What can you have as a tool beside you that it's going to help you keep your hands busy so that you're not missing that action? This was a really important realization for me when I realized I needed to keep my hands busy. It helped me tremendously. So forgiveness. What does it have to do with eating? Everything. When you're an overeater and you can't stop yourself and you don't know why, I'm betting there's people you haven't forgiven in your life, including yourself. And you deserve forgiveness. You don't deserve to beat yourself up. You don't deserve to live in remorse. If you've made mistakes, it's okay. Deal with them. But don't live in remorse. Be your best self from here on forward. You don't have to live beating yourself up. Being your best self from here on forward does not look like hating yourself, does not look like living in regret or remorse or anger or bitterness or sadness or resentment or unforgiveness. Being your best self means unburdening yourself from those feelings and walking in a happier, calmer you. Can you see how that could help you? Can you see how much better life will be when you deal with those things that you're carrying that are actually driving you to the food? If you can come to this understanding, you're going to be 10 miles ahead and you're going to be far, far further than you are at this very moment. And when you realize that those emotions, those traumas, those stressors, those triggers that you have need to be dealt with, deal with them on a day-to-day basis, and you will learn that the food can be manageable. The food is not going to be loudly calling you night and day. The food is not going to control your life anymore. Take the control back. You can. It's simple. It's not easy all the time, but it is simple, and it's doable, and it's sustainable, and it's something that I know I needed so badly. And I believe if you're an overeater the way I was, you need it too. So do it. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Are you somebody who overeats because of your emotions? Are you somebody who needs to deal with them and wants these positive strategies in place? Leave me a comment. Tell me about it. And let's do this together. I'll be back soon with more videos on sharing how to get through overeating in a positive and healthy way and get you on the right track. I have so much to share with you. See you soon.